Hi there, Chantel here from M Squared. I am a certified herbal practitioner and the product educator here at M Squared. And today we are going to do a brand spotlight on a newer company called Optimi. So, brand new company, essentially, they started in 2020 and they're based right here in my home province of British Columbia. So this is Optimi. That's the French side. They are based in Vancouver and they have a growing facility in the Okanagan where they grow medicinal and psychedelic mushrooms. So as I mentioned, they started in 2020, so they're a relatively young company, but they're growing fast, and they are one of the few companies here in Canada that are growing their own mushrooms. So, medicinal mushrooms are also called functional mushrooms, and they are really the intersection of science and food. So, they are things that you might find in certain cuisines. Things like lion's mane and cordyceps are not all that uncommon to find at the grocery store, but they do have quite a lot of medicinal value, especially if they're prepared just right. So, more on that for a moment. So tonight we are just talking about the superfood mushrooms, not the psychedelic kind. So we're going to talk about functional mushrooms like reishi and cordyceps and lion's mane and turkey tail and chaga. All of these mushrooms are packed full of nutrients. They are traditional herbal remedies, and they are without a doubt the most potent form of natural medicine that is available to us. So Optimi makes really simple, high quality functional mushroom products. Mushrooms as a superfood are the backbone of all of their products, and they take a real minimalistic approach, not only in their beautiful packaging, but in their formulations as well. So they've really carefully curated a lineup of single species mushrooms. So they've got lion's mane, reishi, cordyceps, chaga, and turkey tail. And then their hero product, which is their Optimi formulation. So this is a blend of all of those 5 mushrooms. And then lastly, they have this amazing vegan protein powder that contains a full serving of the Optimi formulation plus a full serving of vegan protein. So essentially you're getting 2 products for the price of one in this protein powder. It's pretty awesome. So these mushroom extracts are, and the protein powder are made of really the highest quality ingredients, and they're all designed to optimize body and mind function. So it's a really exciting time in the mushroom world with a lot of research and development being dedicated to this category and the expansion of mushrooms use as therapeutic treatments for all kinds of health concerns to chronic, acute, serious, not serious. It's really, really amazing. There's just so many applications when it comes to functional mushrooms. Because of that, there are a lot of different companies that are on this train right now. Any trip through your local health food store these days, and you'll no doubt find lots of different functional mushroom products to choose from. And they all have their own take on the how and the why of their products. So one of the more contentious arguments around functional mushrooms is whether to use the mycelium or to use the fruiting body to create the supplement. So mycelium is the root structure of mushrooms. It's a literal organic superhighway network that moves nutrients and information from mushroom to mushroom, from growing zone to growing zone. In fact, in the forest, mycelium networks can grow in lengths of hundreds of kilometers if you were to spread them all out. Some mushroom manufacturers believe that the mycelium holds a lot of the mushroom nutrients, and so they'll either include it in their formula or they'll make products exclusively from the mycelium. So I'm going to tell you from a herbalist point of view the problem with this thinking. So mushrooms that end up with supplements, with the exception of chaga, are almost always, I would say 99% of the time, they're grown on some kind of substrate. So sometimes it's soil, sometimes it's paper, it can be agar, sometimes it's like a wood or some kind of blend of all of those things. And the mycelium's purpose is to pull nutrients from that substrate and feed it to the fruiting body. So the fruiting body is the above ground parts or the aerial parts of the mushroom. So this is kind of a gross analogy, but I think it's a good one. But only using the mycelium is like eating the veins of an animal and leaving out the muscle. So it's kind of missing the point a little bit. Sure, there is some nutrients there, there is some nutrition there, but the muscle is where you find the broader variety of proteins and vitamins and minerals, and that's really the end product that those veins or the mycelium is working on. So you can think of mushrooms and mycelium in that kind of same way. So for the mushrooms, the fruiting body is the product. It's what the mycelium is feeding those nutrients to. So it makes sense that the fruiting body is going to be higher in medicinal compounds. So a lot of the medicinal value of functional mushrooms is found locked in the starchiest part of the fruiting body, the starchiest part of the aerial parts of the mushroom. And functional mushrooms are very woody and starchy and actually pretty hard to digest. So they need to be prepared carefully to release the beta-glucans and the active compounds that give them their medicinal value. So beta-glucans are the digestible carbohydrates that contain the active ingredients in functional mushrooms. So Optimi uses a hot water process to release the beta-glucans from the starch of the fruiting body. And that process makes them really bioavailable and therapeutic. So to compare, some companies will just be using a finely ground up mushroom. So they don't use the hot water extraction to literally kind of boil away the starch. They'll just grind it all up. And so your capsule might be mostly starch and just a little bit of beta-glucans. So when we're looking at milligram dosages, like these are all 500 milligrams, but they're 500 milligrams of that hot water extraction. Remember that milligram is just a weight. So that could be 500 milligrams of reishi mushroom that's mostly starch if it hasn't been prepared properly. So we don't need to always just focus on the milligrams. That is just a weight. It doesn't necessarily indicate the actual potency of the product. That goes for every supplement. So Optimi is using exclusively fruiting body mushrooms. So they use the cap and the stem of the mushroom. They don't use mycelium at all. They're also of the mind that the fruiting body is higher in those beta-glucans and active compounds. And when mycelium is included in a functional mushroom product, there is also a greater chance of whatever the substrate it was grown on ending up in that product. So by not using the mycelium, it's a more pure product. So at the moment, Optimi carefully sources third-party suppliers for their mushrooms because they are a relatively new company, but they are also growing them at their facility in Penticton, and they're transitioning to growing all of their mushrooms themselves as this young company evolves. So it's really exciting. They're vertically integrated, which is the most sustainable way that we can run a business today, where we own our supply chain and we're not relying upon people from far away to basically fulfill orders so that we can create our products. So Optimi is working very hard on transitioning to their growing facility in Penticton, and they're growing a lot of their functional mushrooms there now. So it's very exciting. The mushrooms that they source and that they grow are all certified organic. So their Penticton facility is a certified organic facility. And they third-party test all of the mushrooms that they source and grow for heavy metals and contaminants. They're all traceable back to the source. And Optimi is the only brand in Canada that is growing their own mushrooms and using exclusive fruiting body only in their formulations. So the exception is chaga. So chaga is the only mushroom that is wildcrafted, so it's literally harvested from the forest, and chaga will remain wild source. So chaga grows on trees. It grows very slowly, so it takes extended periods of time. So it's not feasible actually to grow them in a controlled environment and to commercially grow chaga. They're always collected in the forest. So I'll show you the products. So super simple line. So single strain capsules. This one in blue, this is the Performance. So this is just cordyceps, 500 milligrams of hot water processed cordyceps. So you would take cordyceps for energy and stamina. It also helps to increase oxygen utilization in muscles. So it's good for active people. It's great for exercise and great for speeding up recovery time. An excellent one if you're feeling a little lethargic or you're feeling a little bit of brain fog. It's a really nice energizing mushroom. The next one, which is in this lovely kind of lavender color here, is lion's mane. So this is the mindful one. Lion's mane is great for cognition. It helps to increase mental acuity, and it helps with brain neuron development. I also often recommend lion's mane for people who are recovering from a concussion. Great one for that. If you're also looking for help studying or something like that, or you're worried about age-related cognitive decline, lion's mane is an excellent mushroom to use. The next one, which is in this kind of gray color, this is the defense. So this is chaga, 500 milligrams of chaga. So you would use this one for immune support, and it's best for acute immune support. So it's really good during cold and flu season or at the onset of illness. It kind of gives your immune system a bit of a kickstart, a little more stimulating than, say, a reishi, which is more of a deep immune stimulating herb. So this one is great when you have cold and flu symptoms, when they're present or they're at the onset, or you're looking to recover more quickly from illness. So that's when you would want to use chaga. This next one, which is this kind of red rust brick color, I don't know. This is the immunity one. So this is turkey tail, 500 milligrams of pure turkey tail. So this is your daily immune support. So this is a good preventative one. It's not overly stimulating to your immune system. It's more of a balancing supplement for your immune system. So it works to balance and restore your immune system, and it's great for ongoing use to prevent and recover from disease. And then last, we have longevity, this green one, which is reishi. So reishi is also called the king of all mushrooms. Reishi is good for pretty much everything. It's an adaptogenic mushroom, so it's good for toning and improving all body systems. It's great for immune support. It's great for stress resiliency. It's been used for thousands of years. It helps to improve your stress response, and it promotes a rested mind state. So really checks quite a few boxes, just that one mushroom, reishi. The multi-strain capsules that I mentioned, so this is the Optimi formulation. So this is a blend of all 5 of those mushrooms. This is, it's also a 500 milligram dose. This is a good one to use if you're not really sure which one, or if all those single mushrooms kind of maybe a little bit of it sort of applied to you and you just want to cover all of your bases. So this is more of like a daily mushroom multivitamin or a daily mushroom complex. It's a really nice formulation. And then the vegan protein powder that I showed you, it comes in 2 sizes. This is the larger of the 2 sizes. So this one, as I mentioned, has a full serving of the Optimi formulation plus 22 grams of protein from vegan sources. So it's pea protein, brown rice, and pumpkin protein. It's sugar-free. It's got 6 grams of fiber, and it can be mixed with water or any smoothie ingredients. It tastes really good. This is the vanilla flavor here, and we're looking forward to seeing a chocolate flavor launched later this year, which is very, very exciting. So that is Optimi. As I mentioned, it's kind of a minimalistic brand, which I like. It's just nice and simple, nice and clean, pure ingredients. It's great. And, made in Canada, made in BC. What more could you want? All right. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.